Hello everyone. This will be a series of lecture where we will cover British literature. Today's lecture will be about Old English starting from 450 to 1150 AD. The modules which we'll be covering here are Introduction to Old English Literature, Historical Background, Important Works of Anglo-Saxon Period, also the Old English which we say. Next, Introduction to Norman Conquest, its literature, historical background, theme and style, and important works of Anglo-Norman period. Okay, so let's get started. Introduction to Old English literature, its historical background. The original inhabitants of England were Celts up to 55 BC. Romans repeatedly invaded England and ruled from 55 BC to 407 AD. Romans Romanized with good infrastructure and military maintained peace. They didn't actually violated Celtic people or England, nor they. This is not what I believe. This is what historians believe. So they maintained peace and decorum over there. This period is also known as Anglo-Saxon period, and the language of this period is Anglo-Saxon language or Old English language. It's the same. Okay, so England got its name from an Old English word Englaland, meaning land of Angles. So they ruled, everything happened. Next, Visigoths, a Germanic tribe, they attacked Rome, and eventually Rome had to leave England in 407 AD. Now, England is in a very vulnerable state and it is open to any kind of attacks. Now, Romanized Britons are left defenseless. England is attacked by Picts and Scots who came from the north and Ireland, respectively. So, another Germanic tribe, Angles, Saxon, and Jutes. They initially arrived as mercenaries from eastern coast of Europe. So historians believed that they provided defense from Picts and Scots to the inhabitants of England, but little did they know that they will be the one who will drive them away from their own homeland. Later on, the Anglo-Saxon and Jutes have driven out the original inhabitants, that is Celts, to the mountains. There are many theories as to why they invaded only England, not other parts of Europe, because it is believed that England was still safer than other parts of Europe, since other parts of Europe was still in a state of war and open to all kinds of attack, but England was still safer. Also, the land here was very fertile, so anyone who want to give a good start to their life by doing agriculture and all, so they can do here. That is why they preferred England more than any parts of the Europe. English literature and culture began from the Anglo-Saxon. We can state that they gave England its name and language. Their life and society reflected heroic ideals, which was far removed from the former Roman Christian theory or practice. Now, as I have mentioned before, there were three groups that came: Anglo, Saxon, and Jutes. But eventually, the Jutes left powerless, and later they were overpowered by Angles and Saxon, and they just disappeared somewhere. We cannot say disappeared, but yeah, their importance now decreased. So, during the Anglo-Saxon period, there were five kingdoms during that period, also known as heptarchy. Before going to the kingdoms, I would like to mention of King Arthur, who was in legends and folklores, and Geoffrey of Monmouth. He created this literary persona of Arthur, King Arthur. Okay, so Anglo-Saxon and their kingdoms. First was Northumbria, in which Northumbrian was spoken. Next is Miracca, Miraccan, Kent, Kentish, Wessex, West Saxon, East Anglica. So poetry was prominent in the north, whereas prose in the south. The Vikings. Who were the Vikings now? Viking was a, a group, a tribe. They were very violent. It is believed that they uh, invaded England. They stole from the original inhabitants, raped the women, and forcefully captured the place. So they were a very violent group. They tried to invade twice during 788 AD and 866 AD. King Alfred, the king of Wessex, he did what? He united all the kingdoms of southern England against the Vikings and won the battle too. Later on, he established himself as the king of Anglo Saxons. In 876 AD, England is conquered by Danes who came from Denmark and Norway. Okay, beside this, I have also attached a picture. You can see over here all the kingdoms and how it was at that time. So now let's come to next one. The Danelaw, which was law which dominated and controlled a part of England by Dane before the Norman conquest. Between 103 AD to 1013 AD, England underwent many invasions, and due to Danes' unworthy successors, in 1066 AD, 66 AD marked the end of Danish rule. In the same period, it also marked the end of Vikings. Also, as we know, 1066 AD marked the Norman conquest too. So it underwent under William the Conqueror from Normandy, France. He defeated Harold Godwin, the last Anglo-Saxon king, and thus ending the Anglo-Saxon period. After Norman conquest, which is also known as Battle of Hastings, French was declared as the official language of England. So this is the end of Anglo-Saxon dominance and our module 1, that is Old English, only the history. Now in the next slide we will be studying the literatures produced in this period. So if you like the video, please like, comment and subscribe, and if you have any doubts or anything, you can just mention in the comment section. Thank you.